Hello and welcome to Lenormand Tower Wisdom YouTube channel, and this is the lesson how to read Lenormand Grand Tableau. When it comes to Lenormand Grand Tableau, it's very important immediately to say that this is a spread where we use all 36 cards from the deck. It's very important to explain that we have two different ways how to read or use Lenormand Grand Tableau, because we have this way of spread where we have 4 rows with 8 cards with 4 additional cards in the end, and we have additional different way of reading where we have 9 cards in one row with 4 rows in this way. Strongly recommend to use this with 4 rows with additional 4 cards, because this is all traditional way how to read Lenormand Grand Tableau, but still I don't have anything against in this different way. In a way it's very similar, and maybe this approach is giving more details because these 4 additional cards, they can explain us much more things. Now when we have such a big number of the cards, maybe we will find ourselves scared from where to start, what to do, how to understand everything. Thing is that if we follow the schedule how to read, we don't have problem. And now I will immediately say there is nothing like a written in the stone way how to read Lenormand cards. So you will here learn how I do this, but on another YouTube channels or with any other teachers, you will definitely see that maybe they are doing something in a different way. Who is in the right? All of us. Because this is the thing, one way works for you, another works for you, and it's only important it's working. Now, first thing to explain is that we need to be very concentrated on the reading, very calm, and focused on 1 card or 2 or 3 cards, to avoid to think that we can just watch in all of those 36 cards and to understand something. You know, I watch now all those 36 cards in one moment and I don't see anything. I see just a bunch of the cards. So we always need to learn to focus on 1, 2, 3 cards, special ways, and then it's very easy and simple. My way how to read is first to focus on central cards, because they will explain us what's the main message of this reading, in which direction these cards are speaking, what's the most important message, where we are headed in this reading. Those are these 4 cards. So 9 Bouquet, 17 Stork, 21 Mountain, and 32 Moon in this case. We read it in this way: 9 with 17, 9 with 32, 21 and 17 also. I use my fingers to point because I don't want to make this as some kind of professor style, no pointer or anything. It's as that I'm doing real reading. I don't use pointers when I accept my fingers to show the cards, so it's in these lessons. So what's the thing here? So for example, we read 9 Bouquet with 17 Stork. We can say here there is on a meeting that is going to bring significant change, or there is a gift or a surprise that is bringing positive change, transformation. 21 and 32 is telling that there is a blockage related to career. I will only explain here that 32 Moon is a signifier for the job, for the work and career. In my lesson about meaning of the cards, I will explain why and other things, but just when you listen here now this reading, maybe some others who already listen, different teachers who teach Lenormand, maybe people will ask themselves why he's telling 32 is the job card for the job. So this is the Belgic Dutch way how to read cards, but my approach is totally open and if per person is using 35 inch for the job as German way or 14 fox in French way, so don't worry about this. So we have, for example, this 21 and 32. We can say that there is some kind of a blockage in the career. And now we see that there is a 9 with 32 diagonal. We see that there is some important meeting, because the bouquet mean meeting, possible meeting or something like this. Beside any other meanings, this one of them look more suitable here. We can say that there is some important official meeting or something like this, and we see that this blockage 21 is disappearing and changing through the storks. Something is transforming, changing, and definitely moving in a better direction. So you see, in those 4 cards, we see main energy in this reading, what is happening. Now, with the corner cards, we will now give additional explanation of what is the central message 4 cards telling. We see 4 of house together with the 28 men with 3 ship and 22 crossroad. We see that cards here look very nice in the first row, 4 of house and 28 bouquet. Now we don't know still here how to use houses, so we will just do without of the houses. We will say that there is a significant and very important private life change in the life of this person, because 4, 28 and ship, you see 4 houses, private life. Man, private life man is moving, changing, 3 ship, because it's movement, and go toward 22, that is bringing to some kind of the crossroads or simply moment of some big decision. So we can say that based on first 4 cards, you see how I do now. I first go back again on first 4 cards, where we see that there's a significant meeting about resolving some blockage in the career. And then we say that the life of the private life of this man, 4 house with the 28, is moving, changing, and going toward the moment of big significant decision. So we see that those changes about career are having impact on entire life of this man. Now, when we finish this, just to add one thing, I strongly recommend to use corner cards only to read in this way: 4, 28, and then 3 and 22. There are readers who do also 4 with 22, 28 with 3, but it will confuse you. In the first 4 cards, use always, so in this way and in diagonal, while here only in this way, those 4 cards to read. They will give one direction of the message. Now, when we finish with this, we will go to the signifier of the person. Let me say we are doing this reading for male person. So signifier is 28. 29 is signifier for the woman. If we are doing this for LGBT population reading, we will always use the gender of the person who is for the signifier. For example, if person is gay, he is 28 while his partner is 29. If person say, I feel as a woman and still I'm in the man body, you will use what he feel, 29. If any problems about this appear, I strongly recommend that you listen your own intuition. In a normal situations, 28 are men, 29 is woman. In those special situations, normal is to follow what person feel. Never fell in the trap to, I don't know, say because he is a man, even that he feel as a woman, he is still the man. That's very wrong, because we will catch very wrong energy in this case. So we have 28 men here. Let me here say one thing immediately. I use this with intention to put signifier in the first row on the end, because signifiers, as you see, many times will fail in a way that we don't have all cards around. In this way, we need to understand one thing. Every picture, of course, in Lenormand we have different decks, different points where the person is watching, and all of those things. But in this ring, you see person is watching on this direction, so he's there, he's watching outside. You need to understand one thing, that all these cards behind him is the past. This is present time, and we see that there is no future in this spread. But still, this is not telling us that we can't read the future. It simply tells us that for this person the most important thing is the past and the present moment, and that basically future is hidden or depend on many things. So you see, cards are immediately explaining us very significant situation for this man in the life. Now we will now I will put this signifier as that he's here, just to explain one thing. When we finish with those central cards, with the corner cards, we will go to the signifier. In this case, I put the signifier here to explain. We use 9 cards spread. Those are cards that we read. In this case, as we see, we only have 3 cards. So we will read those 3 cards together. In this case, 19 and 31, we see that person has some kind of a success in the career field or something like this, but everything is hidden for him because of the sun now, and we see still that that this person is not seeing successes from the past in the good way, because the book is closing the successes from the past. We see that something is blocked. Now, there are some people who will say that these cards here will be his future. I don't do it in this way, so I don't do it in this way. If this card is here, this is still the past, it's not the first card. That's it. Now, when I move it here, just to explain how to use it with the 9 cards, this is past, this is present, this is future. This is what he has in his head, what are his thoughts, what are his ideas. This is what happens in his real life, and this is his baggage, what he is carrying. We read it in this way: 2, 9 and 17, 16, 28, 32, 12, 36 and 6. Then we read 2, 16, 12, 9, 28, 36, 17, 32, 16, 6, sorry. Then we use diagonal way to read, and we finish here. I know that many of you will ask, but where is the knighting? Knighting will come later. I always say knighting to leave for later. In this spread, 9 card inside this Lenormand Grand Tableau, we will understand, of course, if we have this situation to have 9, 8, 7 cards around. If, for example, we have here a situation, then of course we'll just read those 3 cards and continue with the reading. But in this way, we will understand a lot of things, what's happening in the life of this person. For example, I will say here 2, 9 and 17 is definitely telling there is a small luck related to the meeting and positive change. There is 16 star with the 28 destined and very significant change related to the job for the life of this man, because hope, this man has hopes for some positive change, success in the career, 16, 28, 32, and then we have 12, 36 and 6. This is something like a very hard, confusing communication, and which bring confusion. Now, when we read the past, we will see 2, 16, 12. It's something like a situation that is bringing some kind of very successful communication, maybe through internet, because 16 star is internet. Then for the present time, we see 9 with 28:36, that some meetings and some things are not going in the right direction. There is cross the burden and the blockage in this. And then we see 17:32 and 6. There is a transformation and a change in the job, but everything is under the confusion and it looks that it's not happening immediately. Something needs first to happen. Just example. Now I'm really just I don't want just to show, you know, this position is read in this way. I want to show small examples, but I really don't pay attention too much on the meanings of the cards. Just first thing that came in my head, I will say. When we finish this, now let I still bring this card back here. So when we finish reading the cards around signifier, we will go to see what happens in the other signifiers. So we will, if there's another woman, if we want to see partner, we will watch 29 cards around. If we want to see for example job, we will watch 32 moon. If we want to see money, we will watch 34 fish cards around. Then if you want to see situation about travel, ship of course, about family life, 5-3, or situation in the house or anything. We want to see our enemies, what they are doing, 7 snake. Okay, so just cards around, we read it in the way as I say. So this is past, this is present, this is future. As we see, we don't need to know what is happening here above because we don't have card above. We read in this way: 27, 7, 19, 17, 14, 31, 27, 17, 7, 14, 19, 31, and that's it. Now, as you see, I'm still not explaining how to get a main message because I'm teaching you here how to go from to do things in the order, not to rush with anything, so that we can do it in a very, very good way. When we finish watching on those signifiers, then we will do one thing, and this is, we will do diagonal combining cards. 4 with 22, 34 with 29, 35 with 10, and in this way. Then 15 with 11, 33 with 24, 22 with 1, 9, 32, 17, 21, 14, 16, and in this way. This will have us this will give us a situation that we have a lot of informations. We know what is happening in the cards around. We now see in this way how cards are in combinations in different way. And then we will go to speak what is happening. And then we will do, for example, I want to see what is happening with the traveling. I will say in a nighting, 3 with 16, 16 with 17, 17 with 19 is giving explanation what is happening. Or for example, let us see for the life of this man. You see, we don't have nighting for the future, but we have nighting for the past. 14, 21, 5. So we will now understand what bring him in this situation better. So we can use nighting and for the past and for the future. So my advice is, first, watch cards around signifier for what we want. For example, for some nice date with beautiful woman, we watch cards around. Then we do diagonal reading, of course. So in this case, it will be, of course, because it's the central part, only this 9 and 32, okay? Maybe meeting on the job, just a joke, or meeting during the night. And then we'll do the diagonal and we will see 9 and 7. And then 7 will explain us what is it there happening. Now, when it comes to Lenormand Grand Tableau, it's very easy to find yourself confused because you had such a big number of information. You don't know what you are doing anymore, where you are headed, what is happening with you, why you tell this, now this new information, what is the point? I always want to say that when we are beginning with the Lenormand, we need to act in this way as I show here. You do it everything even though you don't still understand everything properly. Don't search for all explanations before you start to practice with Lenormand. You need to have your own practice so that your intuition will explain you what is where. So for example, I could here give much more details in this first lesson. This is just first explanation. In examples, everything will be explained in much more higher level of details. And of course, later, additionally, houses and everything. So my strong recommendation is pull the cards, lay them in this order as I say, start in the way how I say, and read the cards. And you will see what is happening. Now, one very important thing is to say that we have those 4 cards down. This is destined message. You read it 8, 18, 30, 20. This is a destined message, something that is not changing, sudden, important to happen, important message. Maybe message that is not part of entire other reading, okay? Now, additional explanation, which will help you to understand. So, for example, this guy is on the top. He is in better control. If a reading is for a woman, she is pressed by many cards. She is under big pressure, okay? She is here. She has only one card. She don't care about past. She is focused on the future. So those two people, if we have a reading for love between those two people, we will say those two people are having totally different approach in life. She don't care about past. He is still pressed with the past, maybe because of ex-wife. Just example, okay? So just do it in this way. When it comes to love life, I leave it especially for the end. You always read first signifier for the person for who you do reading, then for partner or potential partner, person of interest, ex-partner, it's not important. Then you watch heart, what person has in emotions, in heart, and then relationship. Will two of them be in relationship will depend on the cards around 25 ring and of course on the knighting where it's headed. In this case, as we see, 17 stork is telling about some change. I hope that this very unusual, very strange way of explanation of Lenormand, where I don't pay so much attention, will you catch everything immediately, will be a great way so that you try to practice by yourself. Because as you see, I just show you can do it in this way and was very fast in everything. So again, I repeat, in Lenormand, we really need to practice and to do a practice while we still don't know everything. If you read 10 books and know everything, how this person do and this person, you will find yourself confused and you will just stare in the cards and say, should I first use knighting or should I use diagonal or something like this. In this way you have direction. Read central cards, corner cards, go on the signifier, see cards around signifier, go on signifiers for the situation, heart, relationship, job, money or something like this. After this, do diagonal combinations, so 2 cards, house and 22, 35 and 10 or 14 with the 16. Read this and then go back to recheck knightings. So for example, for the relationship, 25, 14 as some kind of finalization of the message. Check those cards and that's it. That's for the beginner. For the professional way, of course, I will add a lot of new things, a lot of new explanations, and I think this will be very useful for you. Thank you so much and have a great, wonderful day. I hope that this video is interesting for you, that you will learn something new. Please subscribe, and of course, if you have any questions, comment. Of course, I have in my Tarot Lenormand Wisdom shop on Etsy, so you have a link down to go and visit if you are maybe interested in some readings. Thank you and have a great, wonderful day. Bye.